You've been sitting in this classroom for 4 weeks now. You've watched a reading teacher take a red pen to 7 tricks: fear stacking, rotating enemy, the big lie told small, the smaller lies repeated endlessly, flattery as control, the loyalty trap. And last week, whataboutism, the last trick, the magician's last move. Take a breath. You just learned to read every single one of them. Pause. Welcome to the Wayfinding Station. This is episode 5, the season finale. And this is where everything changes. Not because I'm going to teach you something new, but because the teaching is done. The compass is in your hand. The only question left is, which direction are you going to face? Pause. Let me say that again. The teaching is done. You have the tools. You can spot fear stacking when someone tries to pile terror on top of terror until you can't think. You can name the rotating enemy, how they keep switching who you're supposed to hate so you never stop to ask why. You caught the big lie told small, the one they slip in so quietly you don't even notice until it's everywhere. You watch the smaller lies repeat endlessly, wearing you down like water on stone. You saw flattery as control, how "you're smarter than everyone else" is just a leash with a compliment on it. You felt the loyalty trap, how they made leaving feel like betrayal, when staying was the real betrayal all along. And last week, you watched whataboutism in action, the deflection, the "but what about" that pulls your eyes off the page every single time. 7 tricks, 7 ways to stop you from thinking. And now you can read all of them. Pause. Here's what I want you to understand today. This is not a politics class. This never was. This is a reading class. I taught you to read the tricks, because the tricks were the things standing between you and your own mind. That's it. That's the whole curriculum. And you completed it. But here's the thing about learning to read. Once you can read, you have to decide what to do with the words. You can't unsee them. You can't unknow what you know. And that is where the pivot happens. Pause. Epictetus said something I want you to hold on to today. He said, "It is impossible for a person to begin to learn what they think they already know." You already knew. No, you were told you already knew. You were told the answers. You were told who the enemies were, who the heroes were, what to think, when to think it, how to feel about it. And now you've discovered that a lot of what you were told was a trick. Not a mistake, not a different opinion. A trick, designed to stop you from thinking. And that is hard. I know it's hard. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. You invested time. You invested trust. Maybe you invested relationships. Maybe you lost some. And now the receipts are coming in every single day. You see the money. You see who profited. You see the grants being reorganized. You see the funding flowing away from the things that help people and toward the things that help the people who already have too much. And you think, I believed in this. I wore that hat. I carried that flag. And they were playing me the whole time. Pause. Here's where the champion mindset comes in. Because here's what most people do. They feel the betrayal, and they do one of two things. They double down, because admitting they were tricked feels like admitting they're stupid, or they collapse, because the shame of being fooled is too heavy to carry. Both of those are tricks too. Did you catch that? Doubling down is a trick. Collapsing is a trick. They're both designed to keep you from making a decision. The champion does something different. The champion stands at the pivot point and says, I was tricked. I can read now. What's next? Pause. That's it. That's the hero's pivot. Not, I was wrong and I'm ashamed. Not, I was right and I'm angry. But, I was tricked. I can read now. What's next? Pause. You see, the hero's journey has a specific moment. Joseph Campbell called it the crossing of the threshold. It's the moment the hero stops standing at the door of the adventure and actually steps through it. Everything before this was preparation. Everything after this is action. And you, right now, are standing at that threshold. You have the compass. You have the reading skills. You have the Stoic tools to manage the emotions. The only thing left is the step. Pause. So let me ask you something. And I want you to sit with this. If you were sitting in my classroom, if you were across the table from me at the wayfinding station, and I asked you this, what would you say? What would it take for you to decide? Not tomorrow, not next week, not after the next news cycle, but today, that you are no longer someone who can be tricked? Pause. Because here's what I know as a teacher. The students who succeed aren't the smartest ones. They aren't the ones who had the most information. They're the ones who made a decision. They decided to think. They decided to read carefully. They decided to stop handing their mind to someone else and take it back. That's the decision. That's the only decision. And it doesn't require a policy position. It doesn't require a party. It doesn't require an argument with your family at Thanksgiving. It just requires this. I decide to think for myself. Starting now. Pause. Now, the compass. You remember the compass, the tool I gave you in week 1, the one that doesn't tell you where to go. It just tells you where you're facing. So let's use it, right now, in your mind. I want you to picture the compass sitting on the table in front of you. And I want you to ask it 3 questions. Question 1. What did I believe that I now know was a trick? Question 2. What did it cost me? My time, my trust, my relationships, my peace of mind. Question 3. What do I choose to do with what I now know? Pause. That's the compass. It doesn't give you the answer, it gives you the direction. And the direction is, face your own mind, face what you believed, face what it cost, and then decide. Pause. Now I want to talk to you about something important. The exit ramp. Because some of you have been waiting for me to say this since week 1. You've been waiting for permission. You've been waiting for someone to say, it's okay. It's okay that you believed it. It's okay that you trusted. It's okay that you wore the hat. It's okay that you repeated the lines. You weren't weak. You weren't stupid. You were human. And humans are wired to trust their group. That's not a flaw. That's a feature of the mind. The tricks exploited a feature of your humanity. But now you can read. And a person who can read but won't look at the page, that's not ignorance anymore. That's a choice. Pause. So this is the exit ramp. This is the door. And here's what makes it different from every other exit you've been offered. I'm not asking you to join anything. I'm not asking you to switch teams. I'm not asking you to apologize on camera or make a statement or burn anything. I'm asking you to pick up the compass. Face your own direction. And walk. Pause. Your homework for this week, and this is the most important homework of the entire series. I want you to write down the answer to that 3rd question. Not question 1. You've already named the tricks. Not question 2. You've already counted the costs. Question 3. What do I choose to do with what I now know? Write it down. 1 sentence. Not a paragraph. Not an essay. 1 sentence. I choose to, and then fill in the blank. That sentence is your compass reading. That sentence is your pivot. That sentence is the moment you stop being someone they trick and become someone they can't. Pause. This is the week you decide. Pause. The MAGA exit will be back. New episodes continue every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But this, episodes 1 through 5, this was the foundation. The 7 tricks, the Stoic tools, the compass, the receipts. You have everything you need. The rest of the journey is yours to walk. Subscribe. Share this with one person who needs it. And I'll see you next Tuesday at the wayfinding station. This is the week you decide.